Hi, friends. Happy Thursday again. I hope everyone's having a good week. Welcome to my new subscribers. This is my Thursday video where I talk about things I've thought about on my spiritual journey of deciding that my spiritual experience was real and not a hallucination. Long journey. It took me like 15 years. Anyway, so that's what on Thursdays I talk about different things I've thought about this week. And I love having commenters. I love hearing from you. I don't think I'm any better at this than anyone else. I kind of like this to just be like, what are you thinking about? What do you think about this? Do you agree or disagree? I just ask that we're all respectful because we're all just on this journey together, the whole planet. Anyway, I had a friend, a near-death experiencer friend that I met at my first IANS, and he was also we kind of bonded because he was kind of like new at it. He didn't even wear a badge half the time. But he had a really powerful near-death experience, and after it, he would say, "I just want to know what's best for the 9 billion humans on the planet. I want to do what's best for everyone." And I just loved that reframing. So anyway, that's what I was kind of thinking for everyone. Be part of this with us. This week I've been thinking about kind of what's within you is what you see outside of you. As within, so without. And it kind of ties into the simulation theory. I don't know if you've heard of that, but I'm just going to talk about the energy of it and kind of my experience with that. I was thinking about that because I started back at my school job. I'm going to do half time at the schools with the kids doing speech therapy. And then Monday and Friday, I'm going to do my sessions, my sacred soul sessions, and hopefully I'll be able to make it work. So you can book with me. I did raise, okay, this isn't about the topic yet, but I did raise my prices. I feel a little bad about it. It happens because every time I get like booked out a month, I raise them. But it's not that bad, but it is, it is my time. And as the shaman did tell me, you can't charge for healing. And I firmly believe that. I don't like, you can't charge for God. Like, you can't charge for love. I just charge for my time. And it's kind of like a supply and demand thing. But, we'll see if I keep it or alert. I do have a reduced rate and I kind of offer it if you need it. You just ask me. I also offer just whatever you can pay if you need that. And I kind of do a teacher discount because I work in the schools. So, but I really don't charge you can't charge for healing or wisdom. That's like priceless. It really is just the time. And since I'm a single mom, it's not like I can just do this stuff for free and still have like a house. So, anyway, that was my little aside. Okay, so as with and so that. So I'm back at the schools and my coworker, I work with an occupational therapist. He's super nice and we're sharing an office and he asked what I do on the other days. And for a long time I wasn't telling anyone that I do this other stuff. And then I've started to tell people, and it's in Colorado now, so everyone's just super, oh, that's great. Oh, cool. I want to come to you for a session, or should send me one of your interviews. Everyone is so, so awesome and so sweet. And he listened to my interview yesterday on his drive home from the school, and he came in today and said, "What? He said, you saw light coming out of everyone, but what about the jerks? Like, what about the a-holes?" He used the full word. I'm just trying not to curse too much. I was like, oh, I couldn't tell if anyone was a jerk. Like, everybody was glowing into the fact that when my experience ended, I looked around and I was like, wait, were these people really nice? And I even told him, and this is true, like part of my experience, I lived in this apartment that I had a dream I got before I even moved into it, like another one of those things. And I thought that apartment was so beautiful, so full of light. That's where I had my final dream with that angel. And then I drove by it like a few years ago when I was visiting, and I was like, oh, this was not a nice apartment. It's like I could only see like the beauty and the goodness in like everything. That's because I was so vibing with this light that I had, called into my life when I made that big promise in my journal. So I've been thinking about, I was thinking about that anyway. And then he asked, and I thought, it's really a good point. Before I had my light experience, before I started healing, I looked out on the world and everybody seemed angry. I thought everyone was angry. And that was really because I was really angry and I was really hurt. And so that's what I saw when I looked out at the world. I'm not saying like I know there's real stuff that's happening collectively, and I'm not denying that there's really terrible stuff happening or really good stuff happening as well. But in your own personal sphere, um, yeah, when I got had my light experience, it just was everyone was really, 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 really just the most beautiful person. And then it ended, and I have to be diligent about maintaining that internal state. And I have sometimes been really good at it, but now that and sometimes like not so good at it when I thought maybe I made up my whole experience. But it's really kind of keeping that tuned into the love frequency, creator, source, whatever term you call it. It has almost nothing to, well, it does have to do with your thoughts, but it's kind of what I learned too is that I could be thinking all of these different things, but if it wasn't in my energy or I wasn't aligned energetically with what I was actually thinking about, then the energy is more important. Energy doesn't lie. Like that was why I used to be really scared to go to healers, even during my experience and before, because I was really good at maintaining my surface face in life. And I would be like, I'm a nice person. I think I've said this in other videos, but I don't know if any of y'all have done that, but you just kind of skirt by. And then when you go to someone that can see you, it's kind of like, because most people aren't really that spiritually aware. Hopefully, we're changing that. That's the goal, is that we're all going to be more spiritually aware. Because that's actually an energetic state of the heart. So I could, on paper look great, say the right things, but internally, for most of my life till I started healing at 23, that was just very far away from my internal reality. Externally, good student, friendly. Internally, nightmares, traumatized. Not a bad person, just wounded. So, yeah, getting like being around people that could see past the story I was telling was intense. But what the point of it is that you're actually love on the inside. And that's what I try to do with the people I work with, is you just see past all of that into the love that's there. My spiritual experience kind of like really opened me to that anyway. So, and then you just kind of free people's hearts. And people did that for me, and I try to do that for other people. I try to do it for the kids I work with, or even just people I meet. And we can all do that for each other. Anyway, yeah, your energy kind of determines what you see. I'm sure you all already know that. I don't think I'm telling you anything new, but I've just had real experiences with it. And yeah, during my spiritual experience, everything looked so amazing. Uh, when it ended, I was like, wait, it's not that amazing, is it? But I think it was just that I was so tuned into the light. So I guess the point is, uh, you do not have to be perfectly joyful all the time. But if you kind of take some practices, and I think this is part of like spiritual hygiene or spiritual healing, just general healing, is just really cleaning out what's in your heart. I talked about that last week. And healing and loving the parts of you that feel disembodied or wounded. And that happened for me mostly through just divine love. And that's available to all of us. And once you kind of keep doing that or do that, you can look out at the world and see a beautiful world instead of a scary world or an angry world around you. Again, I'm not saying like maybe collectively we can fix all of it, but I know there's real stuff going on, and I never want to be one of those people that I think get kind of people get mad at when they say love and light is everything. But I like really just see love and light as everything. But there is a lot of other stuff, and there's a lot of people that aren't like in alignment with that out of choice or out of really hard things they're going through. Um, anyway. So be soft and gentle with yourself. Be aware of your own feelings and energy and where you can clear stuff or just hold yourself lovingly so that you can bring the energy to your life that you would like to experience. And it really is, as you feel joyful and loving and kind, the world is joyful and loving and kind. There's that saying, we all probably heard it, you get what you give. And so if you're giving love, you're going to receive that from everyone around you. Um, anyway, I think it's really interesting to think about how angry everything seemed and then how beautiful everything seemed pre and post. And yeah, I mean, a lot of that, a lot of my journey has been healing. So I saw the other side a lot, and then I've seen the complete opposite side. And now I kind of walk in between that. And I hope I can bring people either from, out of to a place of healing or a place of like being a healthy spiritual person, like leaving skepticism, I guess is one thing I like. I think I'm okay at helping people with that, but I'm never going to force someone to stop being a skeptic. I loved being a skeptic. I still kind of am because I think it's I like thinking about the world in a rational way, but I also like thinking about spirituality in a rational way. And I love talking about how I decided my spiritual experience was real. Um, Anyway, just different things I've been thinking about. I've also been speaking with my friend Betty. I don't mean to bring her up in every video, but we we talk about our spiritual experiences like every day. Sorry, Betty, I keep talking about you, but she just did that podcast with the neuroscientist Mayim Bialik, also the actress. She's awesome, but it's a different audience, and there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, this was a hallucination." And I already talked about this. This isn't the real topic of the video, but I did think it was a hallucination. I had my own big spiritual experience I go on interviews about, and I literally thought it was a hallucination for like 15 years, even though I had a stepdad who was like a medicine keeper, medicine holder. So I'll never fault anyone for, really questioning, but I think it's the smart thing is to actually look at your own experience and see how you actually feel and also be aware of your heart because I think you're just limiting yourself if you're only living from the mind. But I do think it can get, it's like you also don't want to be completely gullible and go too far into the spiritual without balancing it with the mental. So I think it's important to have both. Um, it's funny too, like I tell my story on these podcasts and I think it's so out there. But when I tell them, I think mine is not, it's not very out there for these people. They're like, what about the aliens? It's just like totally normal. But anyway, the point is it healed me. And I don't know if y'all are recovering skeptics or if you're already just totally beautifully spiritual and you never were a skeptic. Um, I'm curious where y'all are coming from. I'm assuming you're not really that skeptical. But I've had plenty of friends that are, and I was for a long time. Even after I had my spiritual experience, I was like, maybe that was all fake. Even though I'm totally healed and I'm having psychic dreams, and all that other stuff. And the other way, I mean, honestly, I hope this is, I'll just keep going. But it's part of why I love doing sessions. I love doing sessions because it heals people, but every time I do it, I remember this is real. I told you, sorry, I play with all the stuff on my desk. I told you that something that I couldn't have known, and it's just so amazing and so beautiful to be able to hold space in that way and use our like real extrasensory abilities that we all have. It's like such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm excited. I hope more people start to do this or use this or awaken in whatever way is right for them. Okay, so anyway, just remember, and as you probably already know, how you're feeling on the inside is going to be how the world looks on the outside. And you can realign your energy with love. It's almost like I kind of am getting this image that we already are love. The different things we go through block it. And it's amazing how healing it is to just suddenly have this influx of love and creator God energy. And just suddenly you're just healed at a level that, talking couldn't have gotten me to. It didn't get me to. Um, I think that's about it for today. I hope you're able to feel the love that is in your heart, that you were created from, and that you can start to shift the way your world is on the outside by kind of shifting what you're experiencing on the inside. I've seen it in my life like a million times, but really starkly pre-healing from like 13 to 23. Sorry, I did really a bad job at that. Pre-healing and then post-healing and spiritual experience when everything was full of light to the point where maybe I was a little gullible, but it was so beautiful. It was um it was definitely worth it. And I do think that's how God sees the world all the time, just like totally full of light, but like way more than I saw it. Even more. It's like, wow. I hope we can all feel that and see that and be that. I have a lot of hope for our future. And I hope that you are able to feel that love that you are and that you have a good weekend. And I'll see you guys next week or Sunday with my angel message. And I really appreciate all the kind feedback and words and comments because the more I do this, the more I'm like, wow, am I actually doing this? But I keep doing it because I keep meeting the most beautiful people and you guys say nice things and I love you and that's it. So, yeah, reach out. You can book with me if you need the link for the reduced rate. Let me know, or you can book full price and help me raise my daughter. No guilt. No kidding. Okay. Bye, y'all.